Hi, this is Steve Dillon. This is a special video blog. We have something in the shop today that I normally don't bring in. It's a piece of brass history that is very important. It's Arthur Pryor's trombone. Now, most of you should know who Arthur Pryor was. If you don't, Pryor was principal and solo trombone with the Sousa Band from 1892 and until 1903 when he started his own band. He was a phenomenal arranger, composer, conductor, innovator. Pryor was responsible for teaching the Sousa Band how to play ragtime, and he was just an all-around musician's musician. Now, this trombone was made for Mr. Pryor in 1894. Now, it says right on the bell, made for Arthur Pryor by Jake Burkle, 1894. Over here, I have a newspaper article from the North Star Ledger in the late 30s where it says on it, his golden trombone whose etched inscription reads, made for Arthur Pryor by Jake Burkle, 1894, sits on a shelf in the study and occasionally Pryor plays a few sweet-toned lyrics on it. Now, let me just talk a little bit about the trombone. It has a 6-inch bell. It's very lightweight. The bell itself is very lightweight. It's gold-plated. It's heavily engraved. The slide had been replaced for Pryor in around 1934. He probably wore through the original slide. It's a 453 bore, extremely small, smaller than a regular medium-large Bach trumpet. Now, you might say, well, why was Pryor playing such a small instrument? And, you know, there's a misconception that all the virtuosos and people of that day played small instruments. I'm going to read out of Bands of America by Schwartz. It's a very good book. And it talks a little bit about Pryor, what he learned on. Pryor learned to play on a trombone with a 9-inch bell. All right, very large. They had large equipment in those days. But about the time he joined Sousa, he adopted a bell 6 3/4 inches in diameter. He kept reducing the diameter until he determined that a 6 1/4 inch diameter suited him best. Now, this happens to be a 6-inch bell. You see, for the work he did, this instrument worked for him. Now, did he have other trombones? Absolutely. Here's a picture of Pryor with Sousa when they were in Germany in 1900. You can see the trombone he has there is different than the one we have here. It has a low pitch, what we call low pitch tuning slide on it. In those days there were two standards of pitch, high pitch and low pitch. High pitch was around A445 and above, low pitch was around A438. Sousa demanded that all his musicians play at A440. Now, this Pryor's horn that I own is at A440. Why would Pryor had another horn with a low pitch slide here is, and I surmise, I'm not 100% sure, that he's touring with Sousa in Europe. Chances are he's going to have to play with some other groups while he's there, so he's going to bring some type of equipment that he's going to be able to play at different pitches. So he will be able to fit in with the different groups. So it's probably the reason he took a low pitch / high pitch horn on the during the tour. Here's a picture of Mr. Pryor out at Luna Park. Late in his career, right after this, he just about gave up playing because he got too busy with conducting and whatnot. This is an interesting photo because he's playing into a microphone, which we normally do not see of his era. I'm not sure if that's a microphone for radio or a microphone for to go over the park's intercom system. This, again, is not this trombone that we have here. That being said, for whatever reason, Pryor kept this horn. And my feelings are, this is probably the first trombone that was custom made for him. He joined Sousa in 1892. By 1894, he was starting to get a name, and people were starting to recognize him. Now, a little bit more about the horn. The horn, when they talk about Jake Burkle, here's a picture of Jake Burkle from the Kahn Company. All right? Burkle had worked at the Kahn Company from just about the beginnings. I have seen articles from 1928 or the late 20s where it says he had 48 years in at Conn's. Now, that being said, and when Conn started, Burkle must have showed up the first day. Conn opened the doors and said, "Can I have a job?" He stayed till the late 30s, when I think he finally retired with probably almost 60 years at the Conn Company. He was the master trombone maker, and he was in charge of what they call the model shop. That's the gentleman who made the instrument. The gentleman who engraved the instrument was Jim Gardner. Jim Gardner was the master engraver at Conn. Now here you see him with his trombone. He was a trombonist, and he's in his Conn band uniform. The Conn Company had a band, and Gardner played in it. Now Gardner, absolutely a phenomenal engraver. He was the last man in the factory that could make an instrument from the raw materials, engrave it, and play it. There's a book out called Elkhart's Brass Roots. In it is a section on Jim Gardner's trombone, which he did in 1888. There's a picture of Gardner. You can see the picture of him. There's a picture of his wife. There's a picture of nymphs bathing. There's a picture of his dog. And the instrument has a trill valve, which was common for some players at the time, and he took and he actually carved a cat's head into the valve cap. So that's a little bit about Pryor's horn. It's a very historic instrument. I'm currently doing a project with Joe Alessi where Joe has played on Pryor's horn, and we'll be looking for that to come out sometime in the next year or so. It's going to be an honoring Arthur Pryor. And Joe has really gotten into this instrument and is amazed at how it plays. That's it for today. Thank you, and I look forward to speaking with you again.